Hey, welcome to MAddOG'S After Show with the Mad Dog and Cole, the Iron Fist Farrell.
Parker, I hardly knew her.
I decided to fly through the air and live in the sunlight and enjoy life as much as I could, and that's just what I'm doing.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm. Wait.
Oh man, 78 episodes. Mr. Evil Knievel has brought us in with those inspiring words. Fly through the air, live in the sunlight, and enjoy life. Man, everybody needs to do a little living in the sunlight and enjoying life.
Absolutely. We finally have our sunlight back here in Southern California, and we are able to enjoy that because of our first responders and our brave men and women of the military. Obviously could not do this show if it wasn't for all those who gave it all. So thank you from here at MAddOG'S After Show. You let us do this silly podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. And special shout out to the families of those that gave all, the KIA, MIA, and of course the POWs. Thank you so much, with great respect from all of us here. And man, oh man, speaking of thank you, how about a big thank you for our good friends over at Kicker Performance Audio for all your 12-volt and personal audio needs. Look them up online, kicker.com, or on Instagram at Kicker Audio. And of course, every other Tuesday night, live on Facebook at Kicker and live on YouTube on their Kicker channel, Kicker Unmasked Live. Tech tips, all kinds of great stuff. They've always got a good show. Check them out. Of course, Bomber Eyewear, Bomber Safety Eyewear, Bomber Floating Eyewear. Man, I get so many comments about my Bomber Eyewear, how much people love them. If you love the Bomber Eyewear or you just want to check them out, go to their website, bombereyewear.com, or look them up on Instagram at Bomber Eyewear. When you do order those glasses, be sure and use that code MAddOG20. Get yourself a little Mad Dog love while you're sharing the Bomber Stoke. Of course, our dude Cole over at the Premix Podcast for all your MC or announcing needs and sharing his passion for all things desert racing through the lens of a camera. We'll get into some of that in a little bit here, but if he's at one of your desert races, hit him up and he will be happy to get you set up with some great shots. Slide into his DMs on Instagram at the Premix Podcast, all one word. That's the @ ThePremixPodcast. Yeah. Look him up. Give him a like and a follow, and slide into his DMs and get him booked. Man, Kelsey Morrell Film just crushing it on our YouTube stuff. So grateful for all the work that she's been doing, and a special shout out to Kelsey Morrell on her engagement this week. Pretty exciting. In case you don't know, Kelsey Morrell also happens to be one of my triplet daughters, and really excited for her and Captain Ducky. Man, it was great. So, of course, Hey Keeks Marketing, taking care of all our social media templates, video clips, audio clips, all that stuff for our Instagram page. Find us at AFTR_podcast, and you'll be able to see the amazing artwork and network, if you will, of Hey Geeks Marketing. And she can do anything from social media templates to a full on social media campaign to website management, website building, whatever you need done. Just yell, Hey Geeks, or take the easy way out, hit the interwebs and call up heygeeks.com or on Instagram at heygeeksmarketing. Want to give a special shout out to the Everything Series books. If you or your wife like romance, suspense, action, adventure, man, hit up Amazon, look up Everything and Nothing by Karina Morel with a K. And I'll tell you, book 2 is racy and coming at you. Book 1 is great. I read it myself. I actually sat down and read it. And about the last 15 chapters, I could not put it down. So definitely check it out. Cool.
And even if you can't
What do you
read,
got?
still get them anyway because they look cool on the shelf, and people think you're intelligent. I've tricked a lot of people like that with my big bookshelf that's never been opened. You just got to keep the dust off them, and people think you're quite intelligent. So
I love it. Great line of thought. Great line of thought.
thank you.
Yeah. Now we're gonna get into some Arenacross, the AMA Arenacross Championship presented by Kicker Performance Audio, round 14, the final round in the legendary Orleans Arena in Las Vegas in just a minute. But I want to give a special shout out to my friends over at Gator Wraps. We've been working on a project for my kicker equipped, overly equipped boat, fondly named the After Show. And we've got some cool stuff that I will be unveiling live on our Instagram. That's the at symbol AFTR underscore podcast over the next couple of weeks. So pay attention to that. Give us a like and a follow. But Rod has such an amazing crew over there at Gator Wraps, and they've really done some really cool things that I got coming up for the boat. So pretty stoked about that. But I want to jump right into race 14, the series finale. It was such a goodie. 127 truckloads of dirt into the Orleans Arena.
That's not cheap.
No, it was amazing. And the dirt, is a combination of sand and, of course, desert dirt, which you're very familiar with over your experience of riding and racing out in the desert.
Yeah, it's real hard to keep moisture in it.
Yeah, and
really
when you do get moisture, it packs up. Man, it packs up.
Sometimes it just turns into shelved out blue groove. So
yeah,
you got to know what you're doing.
There was some of that on the track for sure. There was a couple of spots where it was blue grooving up. What a setup! Special love to Robbie McQuarrie, his wife Tanya, little Robbie. A family that is so committed to the AMA Arenacross presented by Kicker Audio. They've done a great job, and the series is growing. And just to have the grand finale in Las Vegas, and then a cool concept to have the start outside of the arena, just like the old days.
Yeah, that's the best. That's Not a lot of arenas do you have the area or the territory to do that. And Arenacross, under the former owners, did that exact same thing. And so I was very adamant on Snapchat about making sure that they ran that course outside, and they did.
Yeah, I told them that Cole said to do it. So um, they did. And then they even looped the track around one of the columns back under what would be almost the pits. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of for if there's any motorsports nerds out there, the old Bercy Paris race that they used to do for Supercross, where they would go in the tunnels. But obviously, this is a lot smaller idea. But I like thinking outside the box. We need more of that in everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And, with that, shout out to Vernon Mack over at VMAC Tracks. Um, stellar job. Stellar job. Him and Drew killed it all year. Um, Drew wasn't able to be there in the infamous triple header of Daytona Beach, the Sandy Slobs, or whatever, Sandy Sloth, whatever you want to call it. The track was brutal. The upkeep for the track was absolutely brutal. VMAC did it all himself that night. And, as they say, busier than one-legged man in the ass kicking contest. But they did a great job in Vegas, keeping the track up, getting moisture in the dirt, built a really active track, had some technical parts, had some wide open parts. The whoops weren't super huge like Guthrie, but they were big, significantly big. And the rhythm section to rhythm section was a challenge with a 180 in between. So it was really cool.
Yeah, it's a nice looking setup. It's just I don't know. I've said it 10 times on the show, but it's a historic arena when it comes to two-wheeled motorsports, just between the Enduro Cross, the Arena Cross. Had epic finales there before. Works sometimes goes there on some years, yes, some years no, and it gets make the off-road guys feel like a cool arena guy. So yeah, perfect place for the series to end, for me anyway.
Yeah, I thought it was neat. I'd never been to the Orleans Arena, and man, what a facility! I mean, it's beautiful. It's so well kept up, and they work really hard. The building managers there were absolutely fantastic to work with, uh, and you know, got in, got set up. I was very fortunate. Striking Viking was able to go with me this time. Um, and it was extra cool because, you know, it worked out where a super loyal listener and great friend, Rob McDonald, was down with his wife, Jackie, from Alberta.
That's
And
right.
so, yeah, we got to spend a little bit of time together, um, have dinner a couple nights, and, it was great. And, also infamous guest from episode 40, no, 50 something. Anyway, look it up. Nick Granlund, the Nick Granlund, the Swedish Viking, has actually won
48,
races.
episode 48.
Episode 48. I was going to say six, but yeah. Um, Nick has actually won races on a quad multiple times at the Orleans back in the day. So he had touched base with me, and I was like, dude, yes, definitely come down. Let me take care of you. Let me get you set up with some good tickets, and um, of course, I had Rob and Jackie set up with some decent tickets also, and just kind of the kicker VIP for them all as much as I could possibly do, and it was great, man. It was just great. Got the booth set up, um, dude. It was so clean in the arena. I just was feeling bad for the cleaning crew because I knew how dusty it'd be by the end of Friday night, but they got practicing and qualifying. Man, there was some glitches with scoring and timing. And the crew that normally has done 90% of the races, Eric and Ocean, which you're well familiar with Eric and his abilities. Because I think you've actually raced races that he's promoted before.
Oh, well, I'd like to have a little chat with it. No, I'm kidding.
They weren't able to be there. I think they were off doing another race. And man, I think they had some issues with scoring and timing. I thought it was interesting through qualifying that Kyle Peters only qualified 8th because he looked faster than 8th. But who am I to question? I believe I can't remember who was fast time that night, if it was Ryan Brees or Politelli. Anyways, the drama was on right from the get-go. I mean, Ryan Brees has run hard all year. They went in 8 points apart. Kyle Peters shooting for number 5. They're 8 points apart. I believe there was 1 or 2 points between 3rd and 4th, who were teammates, Isaiah Clark and Kyle Bitterman. So there was a lot of conversation about everything,
Team tactics.
Yeah. A lot of conversation about team tactics. And I was, Brees, started the season kind of a solo effort with a local dealer in Boise. And when Jace Owen got hurt, the Yamaha team, and I want to say River Rock Yamaha, but it's slipped my mind right now.
Rock River Yamaha.
Rock River, yeah.
You were close.
So they picked him up for the rest of the season, and man, he did a great job this year. I mean, no taking away from Brees. He did a great job this year. He did everything I think he could possibly do. And here we were down to 8 points with 2 mains to go, They ended up, the Rock River team brought 4 other ringers in.
Damn.
And yeah, so there was, it was kind of interesting just walking around the pits, talking to everybody. And, there was a lot of chatter about team tactics and this and that. And
the fear of it, and depends on what team you're on is how you feel about team tactics.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was with 5 guys coming in on the blue crew, the River Rock blue crew, and 1 Kyle Peters, right? At that point, 3rd and 4th, unless those guys, neither one of 1st and 2nd made the, I don't think 3rd and 4th could have caught him anyways. But man, there was a lot of chatter, and it was fun. There was some smack talking between my good friend Rob Goodwin and Ryan Brees's bike chief, which they're both, it was in good nature and good fun, but it was fun, and so they got on to it, man, got on to qualifying and whatnot, and we hit the night show, and the way it ended up, KP and Brees ended up in the same heat race.
Oh boy.
And so, so they take, basically they take they do 4 heats, take 2 from each heat, and then 2 semis, and usually 2 semis, take 2 from each semi, and then this time they did 2 LCQs and brought 2 people, 1 person from each LCQ. So, and I think that if my math is right, that makes a gate of 12, I think. But anyway, you know, they're in the same heat race, which, you know, the drama is up, right?
Right.
And I was able to watch a large portion of that heat race because it was heat 2. And usually right after the pros start racing, right after the program starts, I get a little break. And so I was able to, you would think with the Viking being there, I could say, hey, watch the booth.
Yep.
But she had escaped with Tanya to the Arenacross championship suite.
She made the right call
to hang out. Yeah, for
I'd have done
her,
that
yeah,
10 out of 10. Yeah.
yeah. So, but I was able to stick my head in, and you know, it's super cool. By the way, that Adam Conway, good old Akon, was able to get back. He's made it through his knee surgery after his wreck and cut his leg. I think we talked about that. And where the heck was that? Man, I don't even remember where it was, but he cut his leg on a tough block. Kind of got squeezed up and caught his leg and ripped an ACL. So,
that hurts.
Yeah, he's a good dude, super solid dude. Rides Team Green out of Reno. Loves to run his kicker stickers, and as a matter of fact, he's got a incredible moto van that he just finished up with amazing kicker system in it. So it's pretty cool. But anyways, he was able to be there, brace and all, and he was right up there behind where my booth was in the stand. So I was able to go. Yeah, when I could go out there and poke my head in, you know, I could talk to him and so I poked my head out there for heat 2 right after they started, and you know, it was basically KP Brees was out front, and KP tracked him down, run him down. And as they were getting to the closing laps, KP went to put an outside pass on him in the kicker corner before the finish double, and Brees ran him high. Looked like probably trying to stall his momentum.
Yep.
Which totally worked, stalled his momentum, but he lit something in KP that I've rarely seen over the last 6 years.
Unleash the beast, or what?
Yes. Yeah. So obviously, you know, when you get stalled leading to, I mean, he didn't stall the bike, but he just stalled his momentum.
Yeah.
Almost pinched him up to the tough blocks. Yeah. Parked him in the tough blocks almost. And so, you know, KP dropped back, and there wasn't far much left in the race, about 4 or 5 laps. And man, KP turned it on. I actually looked over at Akon after a couple laps, and I'm like, oh, he's reeling him in. And he's like, yeah, he looks racy. And man, KP had some completely different lines through the two rhythm sections. One rhythm section leading up to the kicker corner before the finish double, and the other rhythm section over on lane 4 or 5, however you want to call it. But he had completely different lines than most people, and he was able to, it looked like a quad out. I think it was only a triple, but it was so huge. And everybody else was kind of like a triple with a dab out. And he was making up time like crazy. And came up, I think, 2 laps to go. And coming across basically out of the rhythm section, across the start straight into the whoops, and KP got down inside of Brees and put the squeeze on him. Kind of turnaround's fair play, you know. I'm gonna stall you out before the whoops, and Brees, he didn't leave him a lot of room, if any, and Brees ended up basically bumping into the tough blocks and had to roll the whoops coming out.
Oh,
and
KP
nice. And KP just smoked him, you know, and there was a little bit of contact, you know, and I think at that moment everybody realized like how intent Peters was on getting number 5.
Yeah, he was out for blood, but not, too dirty. But I don't know. It's the Arenacross way is to throw it in there, and it's a lot more acceptable than it would be like at the higher ranks of motocross, supercross. You can play a little more defense, and it's part of the show.
I think those guys should take a lesson from Arenacross. You know, I certainly, and this will raise a lot of hairs on a lot of people, but I certainly don't qualify them as a higher level. I see a lot of discussion about that, but we also had 4 supercross riders in that field, and one of them who's very gifted and very fast ended up winning the B main. So, you know, there's something to be said for that. And I think as the night went on, you know, they got through all the qualifiers, through all the semis, got to the main one, and got out there. And I think KP did what he had to do. You know, he didn't take any chances. They raced good early. They raced clean. Him and Brees raced clean. Great respect for both those guys, man, because there were times where they could have definitely taken each other out, sent each other to the grandstands, and neither one did. So big respect there. You know, and the same for Clark and Bitterman. I mean, okay, they're teammates, but when it comes down to it, there's 1 or 2 points between you, and you're both going for the 3rd place check over the 4th place check. And
and you want to beat your teammate more than anybody, to be realistic.
Yeah, and they race clean and hard also. So I think the first main ended up with Brees 1 and Peters 2.
Yep, exactly.
Which dropped the points to 7. And at that point, I think everybody knew that, you know, all Peters had to do was if Brees won, was to be in the top 7 or 6 and win the championship.
Doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So especially for Kyle Peters. But you know, KP, that's not necessarily his way. I don't feel like he coasted to the championship, you know.
Well, no, I mean he definitely he got 3rd in the second main, so it's not like he was, I don't know, like kind of played it smart because he needed to be up towards the front in case there's an issue, but he wasn't going to lay back in 6th and 7th and hope that everything works out.
No, and he is so cerebral when he races, you know, the stuff he sees, the way he rides. He's a moto brainiac, really. Um, and it's funny because I'm really good friends with his bike chief, and it was the team had decided, you're going to run. I think I shouldn't say they decided, but it was like, okay, well, let me know when I'm in seventh. Let me know when I'm in sixth. And so, fortunately for me, being a representative of kicker, I was able to get down to the Viking did come back and man the booth, and so I could be down for the final podium and championship podium to help present the checks and the trophies for the championship. Yeah, so I was able to get down to the floor with about 7 laps remaining, roughly. And I thought it was interesting that, Rob was telling Kyle where he was at, and okay, you're in sixth, okay, you're in fifth, and Kyle just kept digging. It was like I think that he really I think he was very conflicted because he looked fast enough to go to the front.
Yeah, but why throw it all away at the same time?
Right. Why risk it? And with a Blue Crew bike between him and Brees and, another Blue Crew bike, like hanging back. And at first I was like, oh, what is going on? Michael Hicks
Yep.
was hanging back and going into the whoops. And after the second lap that he did it, I realized that he'd had a gnarly get off twice in the earlier races. Gnarly get off.
So he wasn't feeling it.
No, I think he had a hurt wrist or a hurt foot or something. But he was, the first 2 laps he did that because here comes Peters through the rhythm, getting ready to roll into the whoops, and here's Hicks like hanging back and looking behind him. I'm like, oh boy,
Uh-oh.
I hope it doesn't come down to this, because I really, obviously, I'm very vested in the series, and I don't want to see it end on a dirty note. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, there would be silencers thrown in the pits. There would be chaos in the parking lot. There would be wrenches used as ninja stars.
Yeah, undoubtedly. Undoubtedly. So, but, that being said, Hicks ran clean too. I mean, he stayed out of the way of the leaders, and Kyle just kept clicking him off. I think, I think once he got to third, he was like, I'm going to ride here. I need to calm down and ride here.
Yeah, be content.
Yeah. So, when the checkered flag dropped, man, it was Brees, and who finished second?
In which one? In the third? In the second one?
Second main.
So second main, it was Brees, Politelli, and then Peters, and then Welton and Isaiah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think, when the checkered flag dropped and everybody crossed, everybody knew Kyle Peters was now number 5. So that was really cool. Great respect for Ryan Brees. He did everything he could, and he, other than that little get together back in the heat race, they raced each other respectfully and clean. And both of them still threw it down. So, man, it was a great night overall. And I had the kicker razor, the All-American kicker razor, parked down by the podium. And of course, KP was doing, celebrations on the track. And when he came off the track, he headed straight for the front tire of that kicker razor, butted up against it, and did a big old championship smoky burnout, which I just saw the first of the YouTube videos, and it looks good. So it's
That's
pretty
hilarious.
cool. Yeah.
Up against some pricey metal effects wheels, huh?
Yes. Yeah. And those amazing Canati tires. So yeah, man, it was just what a great night. And they did the presentation for the race, first, second, and third. And then I was able to get up on stage for the top 5 championship presentation. And congratulations to all of the top 5. Do you have the top 5 going from 5 to 1?
For the championship?
Yes.
Yeah. So starting in 5th, Mason Kerr, Kyle Bitterman 4th, Isaiah Clark 3rd, Ryan Brees 2nd, and with only 5 points separating, Peters with the win at 4:05.
Yeah. It was amazing night, and the way it all worked out, this was the first time in 6 years of AMA Arenacross Championships presented by Kicker that I have been able to be down there and available for the championship presentation. It was amazing, incredible honor to be able to hand Kyle Peters his championship trophy.
Yeah, that's epic.
And super cool. After he got done doing the burnout, huge respect for Kyle Peters. He makes absolutely no qualms about the fact that he believes in God, and I respect that immensely. And huge respect. The first thing he did after he got off the bike after doing the burnouts, kneel down and say a prayer. And his fiance, of course, was there with him. I love his mom and dad. They were both there. David Eller, the owner of Phoenix Honda, Heath Harrison, I call him Hollywood.
Heath.
Hollywood Heath,
That's
the
fun.
team manager, and still racing a little bit, but he's now the team manager for Phoenix. Of course, Rob Giblin. And, I was so blessed to be able to these, here I am kind of trying to be in the background, but these people have all been like family to me, and so when the hugs were flowing, it was really cool to be so involved. Even before the presentations, and serious shout out. Of course, Kyle Peters, you can call him 5-time. I actually got to announce it as I handed
Did you really? Wow.
Yeah. Wes Kane was flipped the mic over to me, the incredible, amazing Wes Kane, episode 9. We got to get him back. But he handed the mic over to me, and I was able to announce, your AMA Arenacross Championship presented by Kicker Performance Audio 2024 champion. You call him 5-time, Kyle Peters.
Yeah, that's great. That's going to go down Arenacross. Hopefully they use that clip for something cool. Like a montage or.
I hope so. I don't really care, but it was really cool. And, I was able to shake his hand. He gave me a big hug. And, man, I'm so happy for him. I have been rooting for him because I really wanted to see him get number 5. And, he ties the greatest of the great. So I guess he is now the GOAT.
Or tied for it.
Yeah, he is tied for 5 championships with the great Buddy Antunez, and now the great Kyle Peters. They should definitely share the same greatness, if you will.
I guess it was sort of tongue in cheek, but apparently Buddy Antonez said something along the lines of like, "Oh man, that was my thing. That was like what I could tell everybody forever." now, now he's sharing the throne.
Right? I believe that. So it's yeah, it was really great, and of course, there's tons of talk about KP retiring, calling it at 5, or is he going to go for 6? And of course, you know, nobody nobody's saying anything right now.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, we've what an amazing weekend, amazing opportunity to be able to be so involved. Um, and all those guys, I don't know what happened on the podium with Bitterman. I don't know if he got hurt in the final main.
yeah. I was
Um,
gonna ask you because he got ninth in the second
he
main.
got
Was kind of
ninth in the
what that
second
was all
main.
about. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know what happened there.
Did he post
And
anything about it?
he did not.
Hmm.
Um, and I know whatever happened, he was upset.
Gotcha.
So I don't know if he was hurt or what, but um, unfortunately, I didn't get to shake his hand and help him with his trophy. Um, but it was he does hold. So he moved back in points. Mason Kerr, great job packing it up there to 5th place. Amazing job. Kyle Bitterman, amazing job in 4th place. And the adversity that he's faced this year, where he basically knocked himself out, got back on the bike and still finished on the podium. Um, and I mean, his face was busted up. And I'm sure you've seen the social media posts about his interview, which conveniently turned out being the Kicker Soundbite of the Year award winning interview,
Oh,
where he had taken a face first digger. His face was all busted up. And he's like, I don't know what happened. I don't know where I finished. Did I finish?
yeah.
He was, and so yeah, great soundbite. Um, and of course, Isaiah Clark. I mean, dude,
Crazy.
just what a great job! What a stellar season. Um, his first tops podium in his career in Arenacross, and um, I think he's got more coming.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
shoot. If this doesn't light him on fire, getting a third in the championship after also getting, his first win, I think next year's all right. I'm gonna hurt some feelings, but KP's been so dominant the last few years, and I've said that before.
yep,
Now, like I believe that Ryan Brees and Politelli and these guys are gonna come in next year, like, oh, I know I can do good. Game on, gloves are off. So I think next year. So I hope that Peter stays around just for the fact that say Brees or someone else ends up on top of the podium. It's with all the Warriors in the battle, right? So
yeah,
yeah. I think that already next year could be pretty wackadoo.
yeah, and I mean, those guys were, one of the big things and big talk with Brees was he's running the 450, and he was pulling hole shots. Well, when they hit Daytona, you know, KB got on that 450 and won hole shot and one main or two mains on the doubleheader night. So, you know, and he had only ridden a 450 3 times.
Wow.
So, or 4 times. So, um, they did have the 450 ready for Vegas. But he rode his 250, and something to be said for that too. So
Yeah, a lot
I
slicker, lot I don't know. I don't think he made a bad call riding the 250. I feel like you could
No,
be quite a bit more aggressive on it than the 450 where you're trying to hold her back.
yeah, and he's very comfortable on the 250, and it took him a while to get comfortable on the 450. If he gets as comfortable on if he comes back next year and gets as comfortable on a 450 as he is on a 250, it's going to be another amazing season.
Yeah, and it's cool that you have the option to ride both.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, you know, um, and Brees, I mean, great job. He won the most main events this year. Um, he did suffer some adversity. He finally figured out how to keep it up on the tires. Um, I don't actually know that he won the most mains. I think he did, but I know KP won a lot of them just because Brees was out front and went down. Um, and so he obviously grew mentally, you know, to be able to handle that pressure. And so shout out to Ryan Brees for that. And of course, KP, I mean, I love his dad. I love his mom. Rob Goodwin is such a good friend of mine. His bike chief, and Rob has multiple AMA championships now. And I don't know if he'll be back next year. It'd be a real loss for the series if he wasn't. He's a great bike chief. Um, and obviously, him and Kyle have got some mojo. So we'll just see. But dude, it was just so cool to be involved. And I want to give a special shout out before I forget to one of the local sponsors of the Vegas race, Huddle Brewing,
Oh yeah,
HUDL
Chip
Brewing.
Norfolk. He's the
Skip
man.
Norfolk.
Sorry, Skip. I
Yeah,
can't believe I said Chip.
yeah.
Skip Norfolk's, dude. I want to go there bad because I know that
Living,
he's got that spot.
yeah, living legend. I believe somewhere around 5 national titles, and a world title with American Honda Race. I just am looking it up now. But he is the co-founder, co-owner of Huddle Brewing, HUDL Brewing, and special shout out sending me home with some of his huddle samples. I don't drink, but I know that coming into summer and coming into marine event season, that there will be some consumed on the docks in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, you think you can find someone at Havasu to drink some free beer, possibly?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, fair chance.
okay. Yeah, dude,
So
that's awesome. Skip's, it's a big deal. I would nerd out if I saw him, so that's pretty cool.
yeah, and he ended up hosting at his brewery. He ended up hosting um, the Supercross party
Mm-hmm.
on Saturday for the Arenacross team, for the
Yeah.
Arenacross teams that wanted to go.
Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah, it's funny because he's such a diehard moto guy, and then to have when you hear the name The Huddle, it just sounds like some sports football brewery, nothing to do with
Right.
motorsports, but here he is, and he's really involved in the Vegas racing stuff, so that's really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. And, we Viking and I would have gone. Um, but to be honest with you, I had to pack up that night to have everything ready to go in the semi the next morning. And,
Mm.
you know, here we go into the road tripping adventures and misadventures of the Mad Dog. Apparently, Thursday, when I was getting some stuff out of my trailer, I backed into my 12-volt LED light switch in the
Whoops.
trailer, which I have 6 4-foot 12 volt LED lights in there. And so Saturday morning, I think I hit the rack. I think I got back to the room about midnight, had chips and string cheese for dinner and a cup of coffee and half a cookie, and went to bed and had a heck of a time getting to sleep after all the excitement, and was actually at my truck at 7:20 Saturday morning after about an hour and a half sleep. And of course, my truck wouldn't start.
Oh no, what was up with that?
I killed the battery. It was plugged into my trailer, or my
Oh, that's
trailer
what you're
was
saying. Oh,
plugged
you
into
bumped
it.
the switch and
Yeah,
you got it. So you had to,
turned the lights on, and it killed the batteries in my truck.
diesels are
Um,
hard to start with no battery. I'm telling you.
yes, they're hard to start with any battery. Fortunately, the series director, Sean, and shout out to Sean, he loaned me his rental car. And the company that was hauling the dirt, um, he loaned me his jumper cables. So I had a Chevy Spec, I think it's called, um, little tiny rental car.
Oh, the spark.
Yeah, okay, Spark. Yeah, it looks like a Spec.
Yeah.
Um, and I can tell you, at idle, it makes like 12.2 volts. So, but I can also tell you, just before it hits the rev limiter, it makes like 14 volts.
It's sparking.
Yeah, so like 20 minutes of that, and I had enough charge to start the truck. But then we had issue. I had all kinds of issues that morning, and the series of 14 races, and it was actually 15 races this year, since the 1st of December, or second weekend of December, first weekend of December, because I did American Flat Track race also. So, I was the lack of sleep was wearing on me a little bit, and the issues with the truck, and then issues with the freight elevator at the arena. Um, I was kind of just about fed up by the time it was breakfast time. I
Getting a
had
little
breakfast.
cranky.
Yeah, I had breakfast at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 2:30 in the afternoon, after I finally got everything sorted out. So we ended up not going to the party, but I hear Huddle Brewing's nice. Check them out if you're in Las Vegas, out on Main Street somewhere. HUDL Brewing. Anyways, thanks guys. I appreciate that, Mr. Skip. And dude, other than that, what a great weekend. Time spent with incredible old frame Rob McDonald and loyal listener. And we had so much fun. It was great. It was just great to spend some time with them. And yeah, I'm so grateful, so thankful that I'm blessed with the opportunity to represent Kicker with the Arenacross series, um, and just travel with the series. Everybody's like my family, whether they're a brother you don't like or a brother you do like or whatever. Um, you know, it's you get over it. You all work together for the greater good. Um, super shout out to the whole Arenacross team, for just working their butts off all year. Man, so blessed and so cool to be involved in a record setting championship run, basically a record tying, that as the purses increase, I don't know that you'll ever see another 5-year run of championships.
Respectfully hope not, right?
Yeah, yeah. And the drama this year, made for great shows, despite some of the announcing and whatnot and the glitches they have, but the shows, the fans loved them. The racers, for the most part, of course, everybody that's fast hates the inverted start,
Right.
but it's great. And it really does separate the wheat from the chaff. And, how you get through that first turn with all the traffic ahead of you really makes a difference, So I'm looking forward to it. We're seeing more and more guys stepping away from Supercross, quite frankly, because they can make more money in Arenacross. So, and it brings a lot more talent in, and the tide is rising for sure. And I would say Kyle Peters rose to the occasion. Man, he fought through. He did end up winning the True Grit Award for the year. He fought through horrible sickness during a Guthrie, and I think we touched on that on the Guthrie recap very slightly. And then in Daytona, the wrist and thumb injury that was still happening a little in Vegas. So, he fought through a lot to keep those 5 points ahead of Ryan Brees.
Rose to the occasion, like you said.
Yep. True champion. So with that, man, boom. The 23-24 AMA Arenacross Championships presented by Kicker Performance Audio is a wrap. I'm grateful for everybody involved with it, everybody that's helped me. Thank you so much. And boom, what's next?
Flat track's next.
Yeah, I have some flat track coming. I have in May a couple of Kicker Monster Truck Nationals coming up.
Those will be fun.
Looking forward to that. Of course, here in the next couple weeks, there's a legendary event called Super Cat Fest out at Lake of the Ozarks. Last year, they brought it out here for the first time, called Super Cat Fest West. And I have the honor again of doing that event for Kicker and kind of helping to coordinate things and get things sorted out. That'll be next week. Really looking forward to that. It's a cool event. A lot of damn cool boats, a lot of money in boats, but a lot of damn cool boats. And that turns right around and rolls in this year to Desert Storm 2024, which the legendary storm, I mean, the Havasu Desert Storm is just an incredible event. There's probably well over $1 billion with a B dollars worth of boats.
Yeah, that's fair.
In downtown Havasu last year for the street parade or street fair.
Man, think about being a fuel vendor in Havasu City on the docks.
Oh, yeah.
Just printing money.
Yes, absolutely. It's absolute crazy week. Kicks off Thursday. I don't have my calendar up, but Thursday the 25th, I believe. The street fair kicks off at the Eye of the Storm at McCullough Park up on McCullough Avenue, where the Kicker semi will be set up. There'll be all kinds of display vehicles, all kinds of audio samplings to have at your likings. The Podfather's very own Kawasaki KRX, fondly known as Electra, fully equipped with Kicker audio, will be there on display. yeah, it's gonna be a goodie. So really looking forward to it. And next couple weeks are gonna be slamming jamming. Um, and I am excited.
Yeah, you should be. It's going to be a badass kickoff to the river season.
Yes, absolutely. So, and I was gonna say, anytime you come out, Cole, I will save a little bit of that Huddle Brewing beer that
All right.
I have for you.
I
I'll,
I I can't wait to get to your house because I'm going to have to rent a trailer for all the cool stuff I get to take home.
yeah, yeah. Well, don't bring the small car. Let's just say
You're
that.
my bank of swag.
Yes, I got you, 1,000%. So, um, what do you got, buddy?
Yeah, so man, all right. So first and foremost, and this will lead into something. Once again,
Okay.
congratulations to Kelsey for her engagement. That is huge. So happy for you. That being said, I'm getting real sick of going to weddings because I look at the calendar and every cool thing that I want to go to in like the next 3 months, it's like, nope, wedding that day, wedding that day. So this Saturday, Speedway is kicking off at Orange County Fairgrounds. I have a
Yes.
wedding to go to. So I'm just getting, I got one button up shirt, one pair of dress pants. It's like I look the same in every photo. I'm sick of going to these things. Hey, I'm glad to have friends. It's great. It's great, but also like I'm ready to have some fun, And dancing at your wedding is not as much fun as being front row at Costa Mesa Speedway. So that being said, the same weekend as Desert Storm, uh, my boy Jake has a race at Paula. It's the same series. They're going back to Paula, which they never did when I raced there. So I am going to try to go to that. And then, oh man, there is a lot in May going on. I mean, we got quite a few races going on. Cinco de Mayo. Quickly looking at my calendar here, the Moore Series is back, so that'll be the last race before it becomes ungodly hot in Johnson Valley. And then, of course, May 11th, we have Flat Track at Ventura there on the beachfront property. So, yeah, assuming no wedding gets sprung on me, hopefully have some fun here in the next few weeks because I am getting cabin fever and I'm not okay with it.
Yeah, y'all gotta find your way out here too.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, funny you say that because Big Six has a race at the end of the year in Havasu. So
I don't want
yeah,
to wait for you to come till the end of the year,
I'm
though.
just saying, always late, worth the wait. But I'm just saying,
Well,
there's something. I'm just saying, there's something on the calendar.
I
So
mean, I want you here anytime. You know that.
I appreciate that, and I know that.
But
Just got it,
boating season, like July, is not the time to come. Right, August, the
Yeah,
first 2 weeks of August might be a little toasty for your white ass. So, like,
yeah, but I might need it. You know,
yeah, yeah.
just get
Well,
just get a base crisp and then work my way through. Now this filter on this video makes me look pretty porcelain, but I swear I look a lot better in real life. So
the yeah, no, anytime, mi casa su casa for sure. Um, yeah. Anything else you got?
Man, last thing. Oh, actually, two quick things. I watched ABC Superbikers again on YouTube just because
Yes.
we were talking about it so much. And thank you to the historians that keep that stuff posted and let the future generations know what's on there. So go on YouTube, type in ABC Superbikers. I found one video from '84 and one from '86. Check that out from Carlsbad Raceway. And last but not least, I can't watch those Instagram reels of the guy jumping the Evil Knievel toy over all this crazy stuff and not think of you every day now that it's on my algorithm.
So awesome. I see those, and obviously when I was a young kid, those were the big deal, and I had some friends that had them. Might have been a little pricey for our budget
Yeah.
back then, but I have friends that had them, so I have had some hands-on experience with them. And you know what? I don't know why I don't have one now. Like,
Well, let me jot that down here on my. All right.
I have to start looking at eBay.
Well, I think that they're remaking them because the one that the guy's doing all those jumps on, it doesn't look like an original one in the best way. Because I would feel horrible if he's sending it off his house on this treasured toy.
Right. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. That makes
So
sense. I'm sure there's a repop. Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, man. Other than that, um, you know, I guess we should wrap.
Yeah, our internet is struggle busing, so let's wrap it up.
Yeah. Once again, congratulations, Kelsey, Cody. Cody, I'm glad you finally popped the question because I've known for months
Ooh, the waiting.
and I'm tired of people asking me, has he popped the question yet? So great job. Special shout out to Super Mario from Red Bull, Chris from Red Bull Motorsports, and of course, Eric and Tess from States and Kingdom. When you watch this video, if we actually get the video up, because so broken up, you will see me sipping on my Red Bull. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, guys. You're the best ever. And thank you to Red Bull for continuing to support our great peeps like Mia Chapman, AJ Jones, Mitch Guthrie Jr., and of course the incredible Seth Quintero, which we didn't actually cover the Rally du Portugal.
No, I gotta go back and watch a lot of that stuff.
But I know he did. He had some mechanical issues, and but he finished in one of the stages when he didn't have any issues. He finished second.
Yeah, ripping
in the T1 class or whatever they call it now, which is premier of premier in the world for Rally Raid.
Yeah.
And I mean, it just seems to me the kid can do it all. I just love him to death. So
how could you not?
Right. So we'll have to get him back on. He said anytime. So,
but he's always out of the country. So
yeah, I know. It's crazy.
I feel bad asking.
Right. So yeah, with that, I believe those are my special shout outs. And of course, Dr. and Crazy Watson, thank you for being loyal listeners. BC, what's up, brother? Hope you're having a good trip. And of course, Rob and Jackie, I hope to see you guys again real soon. And thank you to all our loyal listeners, whether you download or just subscribe and stream or just stream. Thank you so much. When I was at the Hangout, which is an event, a boating event called the Hangout at the Heat in Havasu at the Heat Hotel Saturday, I went in to shake some babies and kiss some hands with the Elite Audio team, which great guys and girl, love them so much. And I was actually, as I was walking out, there was a couple of girls and a guy coming down the stairs as I was heading up the stairs. And one of the girls is like, "Hey, it's the MAddOG'S after show."
Oh.
And I was like, "Yes, it is." I said, "You guys listen?" "Yeah, absolutely." I'm like, "Thank you guys so much. Appreciate that so much." So,
now there's people out for you. Just know you have eyeballs around town if you didn't already.
Yeah, well, no, I think that's great. I'm
it is great,
super stoked with it, and it made me feel really good. And thank you, Cole, for all your immense efforts and time to get this going and stay consistent. And man, it's so much fun. I love you, little brother.
Love you, big bro.
What do you got? Final statements.
Final statements. Oh man. My back hurts sitting in this chair, so that's my final statement.
I helped peel a wrap off of the kicker semi today, and my back hurts also.
Yeah, that was a lot of vinyl. That was a lot of adhesive to fight.
That was a lot. I've got a couple of blisters, and I've got spots on my arms with no hair.
That looked brutal.
It's done and ready, and I cannot wait for people to see it because, dude, it is rad. The new design is going to be sick.
And I still like the old one,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you will approve 1,000%. I guarantee you.
Is it just my face over the whole side or something cool?
Pretty much.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah. With that, be sure and hit us up on Instagram, the @ AFTR_podcast. Watch us for some live broadcasts throughout Storm and throughout Super Cat Fest West next week. And of course, Cole, do the speech.
Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe on your favorite streaming platform.
Dude, that is beautiful. Like brings tears to my eyes. We want to thank Kicker Performance Audio for all your 12-volt or personal audio needs. Check out, by the way, speaking of personal audio, check out their new True Wireless TW1s and TW2s. I know Cole and I both have sets of TW2s, and
use
so
them every
does the
day,
Viking.
every single day.
And that active, what do they call it? Active noise canceling.
Yep.
Is incredible. Works so well.
Yeah, it works so well. Make sure to double check traffic. That's all I'm saying. Because
yeah, there you go.
Just because, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can find them on their website, kicker.com, on Instagram @Kicker Audio, on Facebook @Kicker, and every other Tuesday night live on YouTube and on Facebook @Kicker Unmasked Live. Of course, our man Cole, the Premix Podcast, just killing it with the announcing stuff, get on his schedule, and of course, killing it with this podcast stuff. I mean, 78 episodes. We are still going strong.
That's crazy.
We're in the top of the top, what I would consider. And, so I'm super stoked about that. Thank you to our listeners for all that. And, if you need pictures of your desert racer at the upcoming Moore race, hit up Cole. Find him at the Premix Podcast. That's the @ThePremixPodcast on Instagram. Slide into his DMs and book him, or just say, "Hey, what's up? Love the show. Keep doing what you're doing." Yeah, right. And of course, Bomber Eyewear, Bomber Safety Eyewear, Bomber Floating Eyewear. Best of the best there too. Great stuff. Tommy and his gang have done such an amazing job. He had a vision to build floating sunglasses. Being a multi-time world jet ski champion, he was tired of losing sunglasses and he wanted something that was going to be durable. He invented the Bomber Eyewear. And, keep the price down and wants them to be the blue jeans of sunglasses where everybody can have 10 pair or 18 like me, or 10 like 6 like Cole. Yeah, check them out. BomberEyewear.com, on Instagram @BomberEyewear. Of course, Hey Geeks Marketing, getting all our social media stuff done. If you need anything done from a website built to a social media influencer campaign, yell Hey Geeks, or look her up online, heygeeks.com, or on Instagram @Hey Geeks Marketing. And of course, recently engaged, Kelsey Morel Film. Yes. Hit her up on Instagram @Kelsey Morel Film for all your video production, still production, photos, videos, TV commercials, whatever you need done. Slide into her DMs @Kelsey Morel Film on Instagram. Dude, with that, I'm feeling the flow with this new Kicker Power Sports Evel Knievel looking
Very
shirt.
patriotic.
Yeah, it is awesome. I can't wait to wear it and drive my the old grinder. And I'm gonna have to see if we can get them to make us a couple of T-shirts like this.
That'd be cool.
That would be super rad. With that, thank you, partners. If you want to become a partner, hit us up @AFTR_podcast. And we look forward to the next one.
Yep.
For sure. Mad Dog out.
That's
Robbie,
how you do the podcast.